Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's episode of Late Night Q&A with ZodWriter. I am ZodWriter, and with me tonight, I have the pleasure of having a friend of mine, Mr. Eddie Diaz, to the panel today. And Eddie is one of the most awesome, misunderstood individuals I've ever met online. People take so much of his satirical awesomeness to heart and take it the wrong way. I can't believe it. But see, this is why I wanted to have Eddie here, because I finally wanted to get to the bottom of his comedic excellence. So welcome to the show, Eddie. How are you doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here and to get that type of introduction.
Hey, man, I try to give the appropriate introductions to everybody who comes on here. And it's funny because sometimes I'll bring somebody on here and I won't have any idea what to say, man. But for you, it's not that difficult at all. So what's up, Eddie? How you doing today, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing fine despite some circumstances you probably know about. But no, I'm happy and I can't wait to discuss whatever.
Oh yeah, man. Right off the bat, dude. We should probably we should probably address the elephant in the room right now, so that people aren't expecting us to talk about this all night. Because I sure as hell don't want to. But all I could say is that drama that's going on, that drama that you've been in the thick of, that I've been involved into, and stuff that we hear and see online that have to do with a good mutual friend of ours.
Hmm.
That's BS, and everybody knows it. And any of you out there that are still supporting said individual, you need to take a hard look at yourself, because I don't know what more evidence you need, okay, to get it, to hammer it home that, hey, something isn't right with this person. So the best way to handle it is just to not deal with it at all. And I give you a lot of credit, Eddie, with the way that you've handled it. You've said your piece, you've gone on, spoken about it, and dealt with it the only way that you know how. But the thing is, you've been the victim of many personal attacks in regards to it. So in that regard, you kind of sometimes you kind of have to respond when that kind of stuff happens. So I don't know, man. I'm just glad you're okay,
Yeah.
and that you dealt with it the best way possible. And hopefully, the other person who we all support knows that we support her, and knows that no matter what, we'll always have her back. So that's all I really want to say about that one. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Eddie? Or
I'll say this. Like I said, I already had a so-called stream about it, and plus I had two. But no, it's aggravating the fact that I'm gonna be honest. It feels more like entertainment over accountability with the stuff you be saying when it comes to this individual. It's like I flat out stated it. She has proven time and time again that this person has been doing all this and that, and the fact that
right,
people don't care is like, well, I, you know what's this is nuts. Like, come on, wake up and see that this is wrong. And you can't
right,
support this person. You really can't, because it's like all the stuff they're doing. I don't care if you like this individual, if you like their whether the stuff they're bringing out in terms of their channel or whatever. It's like you should know the right from wrong. And if you can't, then I don't know what to tell you. But no, I'm done with it. If I get if I get made fun of for the rest of my life from this individual, I don't care. It's like I said, all that stuff against this person versus what I did is like, yeah, don't even judge me, don't even make fun of me because of all the stuff that's already brought to the table. It's like, nah, you're bugging. You think I'm the one that's gonna get made fun of.
yeah. I've always struggled with people that use accountability over entertainment,
Yeah.
and then it seems like they're just there for the drama.
Yep.
It's to me, I'll never understand that. If you truly believe in accountability over entertainment, then you really have no reason to involve yourself with this person. And one of the key points that you mentioned on your stream that you did about it today, that's stuck out to me, was when you said there's a reason why you'll probably never get monetized, because you're so vulgar and mean to other people, and you're so disrespectful, and you use words that the YouTube algorithm is not going to accept. Now you see, when you watch my streams, you'll notice I don't use curse words in my streams. I don't do that specifically, mainly because that's not how I talk in real life, but also because when you do that, it messes up the YouTube algorithm, and you end up, your stuff gets demonetized. You end up, not being able to, your stuff doesn't get promoted at all.
Yeah.
Your stuff doesn't go anywhere when you use that kind of language and slurs and obscenities and that kind of stuff. And like I said, it all in all, it's just not a good way to talk either as an adult. I mean, you should know better. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I think like I said, you summed it up well. And accountability over entertainment, unfortunately, is just another set of words for people that doesn't really mean anything. Because if it did, you would have more people that would stand for something and would say, nope, I can't follow this person anymore because he obviously doesn't practice what he claims he believes, obviously.
No, I agree. And like I said, I seen the guidelines for what web determines monetization. Let's just say there's a certain F word you can't say that this person has said numerous times. Even
Oh yeah.
I counted one time, it was even 30 in one stream. So I was like, yeah, you're you're not getting monetized. But no, it's not just that. Obviously the harsh language. It's obviously, you know, when it comes to I think we'll probably discuss this further on too in this type of Q&A interview thing. What the Snyder fan. I know you're gonna bring it up because of how I interact with them.
Well,
But
here's the thing I'll say right off the bat,
yeah,
and then I'm going to check in with the chat before we get into our topics. One
yeah,
of the things, Eddie, that I love about you is, like I said, is you're satirical. So you're being funny, and you try to bring the comedy on all sides of the spectrum. You're not just, so when you poke fun at the Snyder Cut fandom, it's not that you're a Snyder hater. It's not that you don't like the Snyderverse, but that's part of your humor. That's part of the direction that you try to take things. And I know that you're a fan of the new Batman movie and all that kind
yeah,
of stuff, and you like all the different types of things. But you're one of
yeah.
those people who's a fan of everything, and you try to appreciate
Hmm.
everything. So that's why your humor kind of goes in all different directions. And the thing is, people just miss that. People don't get it. People don't know how to take you, because most people are like, well, if you disagree with me about one thing, and this is something that I've mentioned a million times before, if you disagree with me on one thing, I can't be your friend because we don't see eye to eye on this one particular issue. And I've never subscribed to that. I've always been someone who believes that just because you may disagree with somebody on one particular topic, like you love the new Batman movie, for
Hmm.
example. For me, it wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it was the greatest movie of all time either. So I'm kind of like, I understand that not every Batman movie that comes out is going to be for me. But at the same time, I also understand that there's going to be fans of it. There's going to be people that are going to love it. And I accept that, and I'm happy for the people that do love it. So when you come off and you have your thing, you'll come out and you'll say, the Snyderverse is dead, or the Snyderverse sucks, or oh, no more Snyderverse. And when you put out your tweet about Zack Snyder apologizing to his fans for creating toxicity, I was dying. But see, because of who I am, and because of where I sit in the movement and stuff, it's like I can't like promote something like that. But the truth is, I thought it was hilarious because it's reality. It's like, that's the truth. You're poking fun in a way that other people are seeing it, but they can't really verbalize it. And you have a way of putting it out there. Like you'll do it, and you'll do it in a jokey, but you'll do it in a jokey, tasteful way. You won't do it like some people have, met a lot of controversy because they've made a lot of distasteful jokes recently about Autumn Snyder and suicide. And
Yes.
for me, joking about suicide is not something that anybody should do. because I'm pretty sure that everybody in their life at some point knows somebody or knows of somebody who committed suicide in their life. So, you know, that's not a topic that people should joke about. That's not anything that's funny. It's very distasteful. It's very mean. It's very heartless. And when, and so that's one of the things I like about you with your jokes. You never go too far. You never take it to the level of something like that. You just basically are making fun of the situation and how some of the people overreact to things. And I appreciate that.
No, I agree with that sentiment, and yes, I know where you're referring to. First of all, the individual we were talking about before says it a lot. He tells people to kill themselves, and obviously, it really is complicated stuff. They know this person is bad. He definitely says, tells people to kill themselves. He makes suicide jokes about me too. That I elaborated in my own video. But I know the other individual you're talking about as well. I said, even though I do like this person, I said it that it was disgusting. That you can't just make jokes about that. And even I made a video about this person as well, saying, you can't do that. You took the L. Yeah, I know you were trying to be edgy, but no, that's unnecessary. That's not even joking anymore. If you want to, the joke was working until you added that, until you had to interject that her. I'm not gonna say it because obviously I think people already know what I'm referring to, but
Right.
but yeah, it was something that was I thought was gross, but like I said, I know some people, probably your audience, or some people who interact with you won't agree, but there is a thing of giving people second chances or growing past certain things. I think I know for a fact at least this person isn't to the level of who we were talking about before. But that's all I have to say. And there's no, I don't make those jokes. I don't harass people. I don't make fun of their appearances. When I joke is lighthearted, and yes, some people can even take lighthearted jokes seriously, which is I get that. And I do have a tendency, if I see someone getting, I'll just use the word triggered. Then I'll be like, well, since I already started, I might as well finish it. That is my mentality sometimes. But no, I tend to, if I see someone actually, because I'm not a jerk. If I see someone being or serious or showing like real passion, like to the point that they'll probably be in tears if I keep on this nonsense, I'll be like, okay, wait, stop. Let me tell you my real opinion, so you can feel more better, and I'll apologize. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm sorry. It shows that you want to, understand where the person is coming from. Even if you don't agree with them, even if you have different opinions, you can still just sit down with them, or talk to them on the phone and say, look, I know what I did was wrong. I get it. We don't like the same stuff, but I'm sorry. You're still my friend. This and that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But yeah, I definitely don't take it too far.
And Meatball Saucy here makes a good point. Agree to disagree. We can still be friends because there are 10 other things we agree on. Yeah. You gotta, and for me, I kind of look at it like this. A lot of these arguments, it's funny to see it on Twitter and on YouTube and all across social media, because at the end of the day, Saggy Melons, who's in the chat, shout out to Saggy. One of the things she had said, which I thought was funny, and I'm paraphrasing here, she says, "You guys realize you're arguing over Batman, right? Like, I mean, when you're in a situation where you realize you're arguing over fictional characters, you're arguing over things that are essentially trivial in the grand scheme of things, when you think about everything that everybody is going through and all the stuff that's happening, it's like for it to get that heated and for it to get that serious, it really is comical when you think about it. When you actually think about, like, at its core what it really means. Okay, these are grown people fighting over Batman. Essentially, yeah, it makes it all seem so much more ridiculous when you look at it like that, from a microcosm. And again, with you, Eddie, it's like you take that microcosm of grown people making fun of Batman, and you make it funny. You put it in a position where you point out the ludicrousness of it all. And that's something that I think everybody needs a little bit of levity in their life. There's things that you should be laughing about. There's things that you should be enjoying, because at the end of the day, these are just movies. These are just fictional characters. And these movies are going to come and go. These fictional characters are going to exist long after we're all dead and gone. So the reality is that you just try to enjoy what you can, support what you support, and if you don't support it, you know, you go over to other things that you do support, because there's plenty out there. Now, we have so much content out there that we can consume. We could live 2 lifetimes and never get through it all. So again, I find it funny how so many people take the things that you say so personally, because for me it's all funny. I mean, there's been times where you'll put out a tweet or you'll say something in your video. I think you even used me and Saggy in a thumbnail for one
Yeah,
of
I
your
did.
videos that you did a while ago, where you said that we were aggressive anime fans coming at you, trying
Yes.
to force you to like anime.
Yeah.
That was laugh out loud funny, man. I mean, it was so much. It was so. I mean, you bring such a great level of humor to it, and just to show how ridiculous it all is. So I don't know. I just, I've just always, I've just always appreciated that, and I think, because I do think that the world needs more of that. If more people had a sense of humor about this stuff, I don't think, really don't think toxicity would be a thing. I really don't think that it would be at the level it is if people just took a step back and realized, hey, these are just movies, man. These are just comic book characters. These are just TV shows. I mean, what can you do? It's ridiculous. And we got Integrity 101 here, who says Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 is inevitable. Yes, it is.
Hmm.
I'm curious, Eddie, as to what you think of the future of, for example, the DC universe. Like, do you see the DC universe being uh fully Snyderized, so to speak, or do you see it being a mixture of a bunch of different things? What do you see happening?
Well, when it comes to DC and the DCU in general, I know back then, obviously it was Snyder focused, with everything basically him having in charge of all that stuff, at least the important properties, at least. But I think nowadays, because obviously the merger, I think something will happen. I'm not one of those people saying that Zaslav is going to skip over this stuff. I just think that it could go two possible ways where Snyder will be brought back for Justice League 2 and 3, possibly a Man of Steel 2, but then that's it. And then he'll be gone. He'll just finish what he has to finish, and that's it. And then another route can go, and that's the one I think will most likely happen. If it does, look, if the other one happens, then I'll be either way. I'll be happy. But if we get to Just League movies, and probably a Man of Steel 2. But the other way I can see is, I do believe Henry Cavill will return.
Yeah.
I don't know about Ben Affleck because this is complicated now, especially with Keaton already assigned to like background other movies in the future. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about a Ben Affleck movie being set, I guess, in a different timeline or something like that. I don't know about that, or set before whatever happens in the Flash, maybe. I don't know. It's getting complicated with that, especially when there's already now an established Batman franchise separate from everything. But I believe that might happen. And then the Justice League movies, it depends. I don't know if they're willing to. I don't know if it will happen or not, but they might they might start off from where Zack Snyder was in his own Justice League movie, but then finish the other two with like a completely different director. Like use the same plot with Darkseid, but with someone else. I don't know. Maybe that could happen. If he comes back, I'll be happy. But I think, and I believe this because I do like 2 or 3 of his movies. That BBS is like it's average for me. It is what it is. I don't want to talk about it, but I do believe that he was a good for the starting point. But I felt like if it wasn't for WB's interference, then all that stuff would have been over already.
Yeah.
His arc would have been over already. Would have been years away of it already, and then obviously all the brand new DC stuff coming on. So it's like I don't know exactly because I know some people, if he does come back, they're gonna expect him to do more things than just the Justice League movies, which I don't want. I'm sorry. I know that people say he's a blueprint, that he's the one that can structure it all to to be a masterpiece. But I don't want him running everything. I don't want him to do all these DC movies. I like the different styles, tones, comedies, rated R of all the stuff DC has been doing. And I feel like if he does come back, I just get him those two movies, maybe Man of Steel 2, and then that's it. I don't want to see him anymore.
I kind of feel like that's pretty much how it'll be. Like,
Yeah,
because we have to look at where he is as a filmmaker. He has think about this too. He has other projects and things he
yeah,
wants to do. I don't think he wants to do superhero movies for the rest of his life. So the reality is, yeah, you figure, okay, he'll do Justice League 2 and 3, which is what his plan was,
yeah.
and then do a Man of Steel 2. That actually would make perfect sense. And then if he decides he's done on it and he's going to do all his other stuff, which he is, because he's doing Rebel Moon and he's doing the Army of the Dead stuff, that'd be great. I mean, I'm with you on that. I think a variety of content through DC is good, and that's why a DC multiverse is the best thing, and that's why I think they should definitely utilize the DC multiverse as more than just a name.
No, I agree with that. It's just that I don't think, even though DC has was the ones established the multiverse first before Marvel, I feel like they shouldn't go right into it. I know they already have, obviously, with Keaton and all that stuff being the main DCU Batman now, I guess, but I feel like I know some people say if they don't want because obviously the idea of the Snyderverse that people are trying to use now is then have it separate, have Justice League 2 and 3 separate from the main continuity, main timeline. And I don't like that, to be honest, because I feels like they're gonna waste this big battle, this whatever, over in another timeline that won't matter to the main continuity. Like there should be repercussions from what happens to Justice League 2 and 3 going forward. But if it's set in another timeline, then what's the point of having this big battle? It won't mean anything. Just 2 and 3, then that's it. And then we'll just go back to the main timeline where obviously these heroes had never done that. So it's like, what's the point? So that's why I just like everything in a straight line. Like,
it's going to be all interesting to see what they decide to
yeah,
do once the merger is done, because again, man, nobody really knows what they're going to do. We don't
yeah,
know for sure how anything is going to be.
yeah.
And Marcus Cruz says here, Zod, do you still support the dude who insulted Eddie Diaz? Marcus Cruz always throwing out the hardball questions. I'll tell you right now, Marcus Cruz, I haven't supported that guy since I found out about all this crazy stuff in the initial days of it. I've been there since the beginning. I'm a friend of Bell. I'm a friend of Eddie. I'm a friend of all these people. Listen, my support has been on the side of honesty and on the side of the people that are doing the right thing. And that's all it is. There's no need for harassment. There's no need for antagonizing. There's no need for trying to ruin people's lives over nonsense, because the bottom line is it's nonsense. When you have an online relationship with someone, and it's an online relationship and it hasn't gone beyond online, if it's romantic and you never meet, it's a complete waste of time. And you should never do it, because automatically it's ruined. Automatically it's not going to go anywhere. I mean, I would challenge anybody on that. If you're really serious about it and you meet somebody online, then you make plans to meet in real life and make it make sense, make it mean something. Otherwise, if it's just online, well, hey, you basically are, because I feel like when it's just an online relationship, you're kind of just digging your own grave, essentially, because eventually this person is going to meet somebody in real life, or maybe this person's already attached to somebody in real life, and the allure of the initial online relationship is cool, but then at the end of the day, it's kind of like, well, where do we go from here? Well, we got to make plans to meet. We got to make plans to hang out. We got to make plans to do. And I'm not talking about people that are just, you're just friends that you stream with online or you hang out with. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about you want to be with this person. You physically want to share the same bed with this person. You want to be with this person. That needs to be actualized in a physical way if it's going to mean anything. How do you feel about that, Eddie?
Well, no, I do agree, and like things like that should never be played that seriously because obviously with the stuff you said, you can only go so far with something like that. Obviously, the
Right.
person could just meet someone in real life and it's like, damn, I'm done. It's over. But like I said, no, that's stuff. That type of stuff is more for fun. It's not really nothing. It can't be taken as nothing seriously
Right. You
unless
can't
you're
take it
willing.
seriously.
Yeah.
But when you take it seriously and become a psycho and treat it like it's life or death,
Yeah.
that's a different thing. And that's something I'll never understand. Like I've always said this, if you're in a fling with somebody online,
Hmm.
especially somebody who might be attached to somebody else in real life,
Hmm.
right there, your online relationship has an expiration date. Because what's going to happen is they're going to work things out with the person that they're with in real life. And if they don't meet you, if you guys don't get together in real life, you don't even have a chance because you're just an online person. Online people can be it can be literally turned on and off like light switches. It's as simple as turning off your computer or shutting off your phone. I mean, it's not that it really is something that people need to look at it. I would almost equate an online romantic relationship with somebody to those things that they have now that you can download. It's an artificial intelligence. I think it's called a replica where you can actually have a relationship with this
I know what you're talking about.
artificial intelligence. Like I mean that's basically what the equivalent of it is. If you're not going to meet, you might as well just get yourself. That's what this person should do. This person that you and I were talking about
Yeah.
should get himself a replica where he can have a romantic online relationship with this person, and it'll last forever because it's a artificial intelligence. So he can say all kinds of things that he wants to it. He can get in all kinds of nasty arguments with insults and expletives and all kinds of stuff, and nobody will ever know. It'll just be him and the replica. I think that's the direction that he should go. And Saggy Melon says that Eddie smells, but we know that Eddie does not smell bad. So we know. I don't know what you put. What do you put in your hair, man? What's your secret for the hair? What's the secret, dude?
No,
Because I have no hair, so I just
no, I don't do anything in my hair. Just regular shampoo and all that stuff. I mean, I guess it just turns out like this. Like it just,
okay.
yeah, it just twists and all that stuff by itself.
That's cool, man. Saggy Melons makes the point again. Here we go. Fighting over movies. Yes. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Let's see. We got you guys talking back and forth here. We got yeah, Belle. Well, Belle is definitely a hero. Let's be honest. Belle is so awesome. She's a hero, and she's stood up for a lot of us, so much over time too. Belle is really cool. And and I've seen pictures of Belle, driving those big tanks and stuff. Belle is awesome. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like Belle Reeve? For real. For real, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. Let's see. We got Saggy Melon says here that Eddie smells like pee pee. And let's see. We got I know because I pee pee on Eddie. I pee pee on Eddie. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Well, they got that's a little bit ahead of me. Let's see. Hey Belle, we got Eddie doesn't like anime. Come on, watch Attack on
I'm
Titan.
good.
Okay, and obviously Belle Reeve. Okay, you're a fan of the Batman, correct? You like that movie a lot. I'm glad you guys did. I'm glad you did. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I'm glad you guys like that movie. I mean, people. My thing is that if people like it, if people liked it and loved it, that's great. And hey, I mean, who knows? We might get a sequel. Just like we've been waiting for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, we might get a sequel to the Batman as well. Integrity 101 says the Batman will expand Reeves bat first, while Snyder will deliver the team up films in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. That actually makes a lot of sense to me, Integrity 101. I mean, I could see, because we know that Reeves wants to do his own thing. So that's, so of course, his trilogy will be self-contained, kind of like the Christopher Nolan movies where they were their own thing. And Marcus Cruz says, I want a Batman, JDM, Flashpoint Batman, and Batfleck crossover. Well, you might be waiting a while on that. Who knows? And Mary Wilcox says, indeed, Integrity 101, we can have both. And everybody, okay, yeah, Eddie's showing the love for Bell, absolutely. Let's see, we got all these great people in the chat here. And wait, Marcus Cruz says, sorry for the questions. No, don't apologize for any questions that you have, Marcus. That's what these Q&As are for. When you ask questions, we try to give you the answers if we have the answers. I don't have any problem answering questions. I'm as truthful as I can be. I'm as much of an open book as I am any other time. This is me. This is the real me. This is what you see is what you get. So, don't ever apologize for questions. Meatball Saucy says, online relationships are not real. Don't put your emotions on the line. Get out or get out. Yeah, don't ever put your emotions on the line unless you're planning to meet up and you're planning to make it real. Because again, you cannot, it's not going to go if it's not going to go anywhere, you're wasting your time. Let's see. Jesse Allen says, can you have sex with those replicas? Well, I would think that you could have phone sex, or you could sext those replicas if you wanted to. I don't know. Jesse, you might need to delve into virtual reality. Get yourself one of those Oculus headsets and do a little bit of Google searching, and I'm pretty sure you might be able to find what you're looking for as far as that goes. That might be a way to fulfill that element if the replica isn't working for you. Zod, be careful. People are calling you a simp for citing and protecting Bell. Marcus, I don't care about simps. I don't care about names. Me and Eddie have been through that before. That's not a problem. You can call me a simp. You can call me all the names you want to. Bell knows I'm not simping for her. Okay, if anything, I'm in love with Saggy Melons. Everybody knows that. So, there's no simping going on when it comes to that. I'm just on the side of what's right. And in this case, Bell is 100% right. And Bell also happens to be an amazing person. Aside from being beautiful and being awesome and being fun, she's also right, and she has every right to be happy, just like everybody else. So as far as simping, yeah, no, I don't really care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. They can like me or not like me. They don't have to follow me. They don't have to subscribe to me. I'm who I am. I try to keep it real. They don't like it. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell them. What about you, Eddie? How do you feel about people that call you names, that call you simps? Do you take it personally? Do you care? Because I don't.
There was a point where I went to the extreme where people were coming at me almost damn near every day, which I did take part in, because it's not good for your mental health hearing getting attacked, being called certain slurs and stuff like that. But when it comes to individually, when it comes to just being called a simp or this and that, is like the way I see it, and obviously it's coming from a certain person's audience that we're saying that, or the person themselves that we're not going to refer to. It's like, well, just because she's a woman and I'm protecting her over something that's obviously wrong, it doesn't mean I'm a simp.
Right. I'm standing up. We're standing up for her in the same way we would stand up for any of our friends. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying I would stand up for Eddie in the same way if I seen somebody going at Eddie like that. That's not right. That's not the way that you should do things. And again, we can get down when we get down to the core of it. What is it all really about? An online relationship that really has nothing to do with Eddie or me or anybody else. So, I mean, again, I mean, we're gonna stick up for our friends. I mean, you're gonna stick up for the right thing.
No, I've heard it plenty of times with people like Bell or Saggy when I stick up to them when they get
Right.
shitted on. It's like, well, I do it for other people too. Look at my channel. You'll see I'll do it for the other
You'll
side.
do it. You do.
But I look, no, this is equality. If I see, I don't care if you're a boy or girl or non-binary, whatever. If I see something get,
Exactly.
troubling you, if I see, if I had to stick up for you because I know obviously it's something that's bad. And what happened to Bell was a extreme case of a person just taking it too far when it came to breaking off a relationship or whatever that what you could call that thing that it was. But no, from those people I've heard it all. Simp. Are you trying to sleep with her? This and that. It's like, bro, calm down.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like no, because when you have a real life and you are around and you're actually around people in real life, you don't need to, simp for people online. You don't need to pretend, to put it in your head that you're gonna be with somebody online. It's like people confuse doing the right thing for having an agenda for you want, like you were saying, you want to sleep with her, you want this, you want that. No, that's not what this is about. That's never been what this has been about. I mean, if that's the case, it really is a losing battle, because I'm not saying there aren't simps out there.
Yeah,
I mean, there probably are, but I mean, let's be realistic here. If I really cared what anybody said or thought, I wouldn't be here doing this. These kinds of things are, when we bring up these sensitive topics and stuff, it's not because we've got nothing better to do. We bring them up because they need to be addressed, and people need to be called out for this type of disgusting behavior. Plain and simple.
No, I agree. And even Belle stuck up for me one time when they kept on calling me a simp. She was like, you guys never had girls as friends before, because it's true. I can be obviously men can be friends with girls. Well, anything going on, it's a thing that's how many friends I have that are girls. I don't secretly plot to sleep with them or to do anything. There's no agenda. It's just me being a nice, good-hearted friend. That's the bottom line. Like
exactly. Doing the right thing, because you know what, friendships, when you have friendships where they're good friendships and they're actual people you care about, and believe me, you can have great meaningful friendships with people online that you've never met. You can have awesome friendships because you're online more than anything else. So those friendships are become very strong. They become you become very close. You become very, like, I don't know. I might have known Eddie for a week, and I put Eddie's channel on my featured channels on YouTube because I just liked Eddie and liked what he was doing and liked where he was going at the time when I met him. And I just feel like you can have friends where you just have like an instant connection where they're cool and you don't have any issues. You just know that you gel well with that person and you can get along, you can get along great. So I don't know. I just say that you can't have a meaningful romantic relationship online. That's where I draw the line, because I feel like if it's romantic and it really needs to mean, if you really want it to mean something, then it has to become physical. You have to meet up, because that's the only way that you're gonna be able to balance things out. And I think the person in question who we were talking about at one point really believed that he had a chance at a physical relationship, but that ship has sailed, buddy. I mean, that's not going to happen at all. So
the person still believes this, even though I think that's crazy. But no, that shit, well, all the stuff that has happened for these months already, even before we all knew what was going on, it was already happening for months. So imagine, no, all that stuff builds up a record against you. I'm sorry, but in no way are you gonna come up on top with all the stuff that you've done, in bad faith. It's just it's a horrible situation.
Right. Right. It's like just I feel like just get over it at this point and find somebody new. Find somebody. In fact, find somebody who's not online, or if you meet them online, try to meet somebody locally online. And when you meet somebody locally, it can start off online and then it actually has a good chance of maybe turning into something else. That's what you do. I mean, obviously, this one isn't going to work. And I got to tell you, as beautiful and awesome as she is, she's
Yeah,
not the only woman out there in the world. There
yeah.
are plenty of other women out there, dude. You're I mean,
No, the thing about that too is I stated it, and obviously, like I said, this is probably going on for like 8 months. He would have been finding a girlfriend already, to be honest, all that
right.
time. But the thing about it is, I'm kind of worried because it's like, yeah, find someone different besides her, but it's like I don't want the same thing to happen to some random girl I don't know about. Like it's gonna be kind of, it's a tricky
He needs
situation.
to. I think his best case scenario, Eddie, would be to find somebody locally
Mhm.
that he could meet, that he could
Yeah,
actually meet and hang out with and have a physical interaction with. So
yeah,
because what you realize is when you're dealing with there's a big difference between dealing with somebody in an online relationship versus dealing with somebody in a real life physical relationship. You got to play things a little bit differently in real life. And I really feel like, yeah, put your skills to the test. If you're smart, you spend all this time picking on and attacking other people. Why don't focus your energies on something a little more realistic? Try to find something tangible. I mean, this is a nickel's worth of free advice. I know you're lurking out there somewhere. You're probably watching this video right now. So just take the advice. Find somebody local. All right. And leave her alone because she's out. She's out.
yeah.
She's
No,
not
it's
she's
it's
not in
trust.
your she's not in
Yeah.
your she's not in your league right now. So you might as well look and see what else is out there. Period.
No, I agree, but like I said, it's I get it that probably the online relationship breaking off and all the stuff that was leading to it was probably impacted the way this person was acting. But this person does have qualities and tendencies that are a bit controlling, toxic. So I don't want. Yes, I can't control who people match with and get into a relationship with, but I don't want to find out that he's been doing this to like a new girl if that happens. It's like
Right.
I know I sound like a jerk saying that you shouldn't be with anyone, but with the way you're acting, but
You shouldn't
it's
be with anyone.
that I mean you and I both know what he's done, so it's like, all right, maybe you do deserve that, not to be with anyone. If
I
you,
just feel like I feel like if you get involved with somebody
yeah,
in real life, it will it'll it might change its perspective. This is why I don't really feel like this person has actually had anybody in real life. Because if he had, he would know that this whole online thing that he's doing right now is a futile thing. You're not going to get anywhere. There's nowhere to grow. If the girl has no interest in you, okay, and it's just online and she's made it clear she doesn't want anything else to do with you, what more can you do? It's like you're just beating your head against the wall. Basically, you're not going anywhere, and threatening and attacking all her friends isn't helping your position either. It's not going to make her suddenly fall in love with you because, oh, you're such a bad boy because you're attacking all my friends and calling them all these names and attacking Eddie, saying that Eddie looks like a disease and all this stuff. You're not going to win yourself any brownie points by doing anything like that. So I just don't understand I just don't understand the direction. I don't understand the thought process. It's completely foreign to me. Uh, and Geek Studios here asks us a good question, Eddie. He says, what's your favorite Batman movie? Zod and Eddie. Eddie, what's your favorite Batman movie? Are you muted?
Oh yeah, it was my bad. But no, I kind of want to say the Dark Knight, but at the same time, look, I do really like the Batman. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie.
Okay.
So it's hard. It's hard for me. Yeah, it's just how it is. You know, I like the Batman a lot,
Okay,
but
well, for me, I gotta say Batman versus Superman.
I know
I
people try to
love that
count that as a
movie.
Batman
I love
movie.
that movie, that Batman movie. I love, Batman being Batman. I don't know. That's my favorite one. But see if that's where we differ. But I'm not mad at you for it. I don't hate you for it. I'm not like, oh well, you like the Batman. I can't talk to you. Get the hell out of here. It's like, dude, no, I mean, I understand. People like what they like. That's totally cool. Jesse Allen says, I'll do that. Zod, oh, you're talking about Oculus, Jesse? Yeah, I think you should look into that. I think you would like that, my friend. I'm a Zod simp as well. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you being a Zod simp. And Marcus wanted to know if him and Bell were cool. And Bell says, of course, Marcus. And Jesse Allen says, I'm more pimp than simp, though. And Belle says she's a simp for Eddie. I'm a simp for Eddie. Okay, well, there you go. That's a good thing. And Marcus says, okay, yeah, Belle, are you and okay, this is you guys talking about amongst yourself. Um, let's see. We got Nova Joe, what's going on? Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Says it's easy online, not in real life, though that's tricky. Yeah, but my thing is that it can start online, and then if it's of any value and if it really means anything, it can move on to the next level. There's plenty of ways for people to get together. They meet online no matter where they are in the world. There's airplanes, there's plenty of transportation. It's not like it's impossible. You can literally meet anybody in the world you want. It's not that difficult at the end of the day. If you really want to do it, where there's a will, there's a way. And Meatball Saucy says, do we want drama in our content? How do we just get content out the way we won't without drama? Well, yeah, you have drama. There's always going to be a little bit of drama injected, right? But some of it is just absolutely ridiculous, because what I'm talking about is the types of dramas where that's all you get is drama.
Like I said, it's hard because drama comes out of anything, even if it's something small. I know for that situation that happened with Bell and everything else, that shouldn't that shouldn't have escalated the way it did. It should have been everyone. Look, I'm not gonna speak on her, but obviously, she was in the wrong too for that situation. But obviously, she's not the one that put it to the extreme. But I think it should have been an Us United situation where you see this person is doing multiple bad things in the at the same time. So you'll in your own head you'll determine like, yeah, like the whole situation is wrong, but like you can't just be obsessive and blackmail and stalk, because that's even more wrong than the other
that that
situation.
that sounds like a Lifetime movie. Obsessive blackmail and stalk. Like,
I mean
just
that.
imagine that's essentially what's going on too. Yes.
I mean, that was basically this person's trinity. To be honest, that's some of the things they were doing. But yeah, it's hard because like I think everyone should have been on board with Bell. Like, in no way should you be like, oh, she wants drama. She just wants attention. No, when you hear those words, when you hear the word harassment, you should be like, and blackmail, you should be like, oh, what's going on? Are you okay? But no, everyone's like, I get out of here with that bullshit. It's like, come on, really?
Well, it's a lot of people, and this is the thing. A lot of people stepped away
Hmm.
because they didn't want to be involved. So a lot of people stopped, following both parties because they wanted to, you know, be purged of it. But my thing
Yeah.
is, if it's your friend and it's somebody you really care about and you see they're being wronged, then you shouldn't have any problem standing up for them. You shouldn't have any problem saying the right thing.
I will say this, and for the people who come out to me saying, Eddie, I just can't do this. I'm kind of scared of what might happen. Look, as long I'll say this, as long as you don't support it, but because obviously not everyone can be outspoken. Some people are shy, some people are, this and that. So I get it that it's not, there's nothing wrong with, I won't say not being brave, but just saying, look, I don't, I obviously I'm with Belle, whoever else, in any situation, not just hers. Like, I want to help you, but I'm kind of scared about what would happen. And it's proven that this person, when they attack heavy. They don't pull punches. They don't do any of that stuff. So
Well,
I
what?
agree.
It's easy. It's easy to not pull punches and attack heavy
Mm-hmm.
uh, when you're living with your mother and you don't have any responsibilities, and you can just willy nilly say whatever the hell you want with no consequences whatsoever, and you feel that you're protected. In that regard, yeah, that's the reason why. And I don't know if you've noticed this, Eddie, but I've noticed this with the majority of bullies online who harass and attack and use all kinds of negative words and things to describe people and to go at people. I've noticed that the majority of them, what you end up finding out is, yeah, they live at home with their parents. They're in their parents' basement, or they live with a loved one, or they're a parent, and they feel like they're untouchable. They're keyboard warriors. They can come out and say whatever they want, do whatever they want, attack anybody any way they want to, because there's no accountability, because there's no consequences for anything that they do.
I get it. I get it. It's the internet, and obviously, some people do get away with things. With certain things, you do. Obviously, if you have like a platform or certain audience, obviously, if you say the wrong thing, you can't get obviously canceled or stuff like that. But that person we're talking about comes from a bubble where pretty much even the audience acts the same way this person does. So it's like
Right.
if they all act the same, what
It's
can
a
you do?
common theme. It's a
Yeah,
common element. If you see this person being a
yeah.
bully and getting away with it and being able to treat other people that way, then you feel emboldened to be that way. Because I've seen people,
Hmm.
some of the things that I've seen people say about her,
Yeah.
especially during the initial parts of it, were some of the very people who populated her chats.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
and I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk about Belle like she's not here. I mean, she's here.
Hmm.
She's here in the chat.
Hmm.
All I'm trying to say is that, like, it just bothered me to the core that you had so many people who had been in her streams, who had been participating in her live streams and her videos and stuff, in the other person's chat, talking to all types of mess about Belle. And that's what bothered me, because I'm like, listen, you don't have to agree with Belle. You don't have to agree with this other person. But if you, like, for example, let's just say that you're friends with Belle and then you're also friends with this other person, and you want to kind of take a neutral position. Even the people that want to do that and want to take a neutral position shouldn't be in one chat talking trash 1 minute and then jumping in the other chat talking trash the next minute, because that's what I've seen a lot of these people do. And that's the thing that bothers me. They go into his chat talking all types of mess, calling her all kinds of names, and then they go into her chat making it seem like they were on her side. I mean, it's, to me, that playing both sides against the middle is never a good position to take. That's why I say, you know, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And that's what a lot of these people, they don't stand for nothing. And then there's the people, like you said, where they just see it all as entertainment.
Yeah.
They don't really look at it as anything really real or important or substantial. They see the whole thing playing out as just
Yeah.
like a TV drama. They're not looking at it as something that's real life.
No, I agree. It's not important until it happens to them. That's none that's important until it happens to them. That's what I have to say.
Right, right.
No, if it, in any situation, I mean, obviously, just in a hypothetical situation, if it happened to you, like somebody said that, someone like Caleb, if you know who Caleb is, that was in Bell
Yeah.
Circle.
Uh-huh.
He was like, he said it in his own channel on a Twitch stream. He was like, in any situation, it would have happened to your sister, your mom, your daughter. How would you feel if you saw something like that? A person talking to this person and saying these certain things about how they're gonna ruin their life. How are you gonna feel about that? So that's what you say. Put yourself in that position and understand how you feel. 'Cause I know for a fact those people that were talking crap or just ignoring it would feel this the same way she's feeling. I guess.
Right, right. And that's what some people don't have the ability to do. They can't see it from another person's perspective. They've never been able to step out of their shoes and say, well, what if it were me in
Yeah.
that situation? Like you said, what if it were my daughter, my sister,
Yeah.
whomever, it's like it's such a it- you know, it's like my dad always says, it doesn't cost you anything to be kind to another
Mm-hmm.
person. Okay? So human decency, kindness, and empathy towards another person shouldn't be that hard as human beings. So I'll never understand why, that type of thing always seems so difficult for people. Like, no, I can't do it. I don't want to get involved because I don't want this person to come at me. Well, if the person comes at you, it says more about you than it says more about him than it does about you, because if you're not coming at the person and you're just stating your opinion and taking a side, why does it matter to this person?
No, I agree, and there's some sentiments when it comes to me about from that other side, that audience, that bubble, saying I'm just doing this for either I have agenda, trying to get it with her, or I just want attention and clout. And it's like, no, in my look, I'm gonna be honest about it. Yes, I didn't know about it before, but once I found out, I didn't have to do a stream. I didn't have to talk about it. I didn't have to reach out to the person and tell them to stop, but I did
Right.
because I in my head I was like, this is wrong, and it's getting me sad that I'm seeing this stuff. And and she showed me a bunch of things too at the same time with us. So I was like, no, I have to be. I have a platform. I'm that type of person. I do suffer from anxiety sometimes. It's some form of shyness, but no, I think I'm tough enough to say yes. And I was scared. I was scared to do that stream when I did it all those months ago. I was scared, but I was like, I know that this is the right thing, so it's worth it. What happens to me with the outcome? The outcome was kind of crazy, but no, I did it again today. And I don't regret it because I think I'm coming from a place where I'm more since I already got the worst of it. Nothing can hurt me now, so I might as well just finish him off for
Right.
good and then not. Yeah.
You're thick skinned and you understand that
Hmm.
these kind of things really can't hurt you, because at the end of the day, all it is just some guy online,
Yeah.
and I mean, that's really what you have to put into perspective. And Bell says, "Yep, that's how I met someone on here. They actually live 20 minutes away from me." And Jesse says, "I met Margot Robbie online and had some good chats." That's awesome. That is great. Um, and Belle Reeves says, "I actually see this person every week. That's cool." And Jesse Allen says, "Turns out I was hooking up with an Indian dude." Oh, okay.
Catfished.
Oh, well, yeah, you were catfished. Jesse Allen says, Yoda sickness. And let's see. What's up, Zod and Eddie? Hope all is well. Keep up the great work, fellas. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're definitely doing our thing tonight, man. Not holding back, not pulling any punches. That's what late night Q&A is about, asking the hard questions and answering them. After seeing his face now, all this shit is obvious. He's struggling to meet someone in real life.
Look, I don't.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think I think it's more that, and I'm gonna be real here,
Mhm.
okay? And I'm gonna say this right now, and whatever, I don't care. Belle
Yeah.
is in the chat. I'm gonna say
Mhm.
this right now. Belle is a very, very beautiful woman. She's very attractive. Not only that, she has a great personality to match. She's awesome, right? So I think in this person's case, it was just the fact that even if he has met other people in real life or whatever, he's never had anybody as attractive as Belle come to him in that way. He's never had anything like that. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is, when you're a guy like that, you don't get too many of those. You don't get too many of those opportunities where you meet somebody like Belle, who's not only beautiful and awesome, but she's also into all the same things you're into,
Yeah.
loves DC, loves the Snyderverse, all this stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's a once in a lifetime thing. You don't get too many of those because you might meet a beautiful woman that you date and you love and you get along and whatever, but you have nothing in common.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't tell you the first thing about a comic book movie or anything like that. But when you look at Belle has all those qualities, right? And she likes all that stuff. Not only does she like all that stuff, she's a big fan of it. She's really into it. So you can actually have those meaningful conversations about that stuff with her, and she's into it and she won't be bored. And that's another thing so I think when it comes to him, he kind of got a double whammy. Not only was he into her because of his physical attraction, but he was also into her because of all of the other elements in which, hey, we could talk about DC. We both love the Snyderverse. We got this, we got that. We're both trying to do YouTube. We're both trying to build our platforms, and we're doing this and this and this. So there's a lot of factors that go into what makes you fall head over heels for someone. It's not just, how they look. It's not just your physical appearance. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, when you have all of those things and they all add up together in like a perfect, like Belle, you don't, what can you do? You're just like, yeah, this is who I want. So I don't think it's so much that he can't get anybody else. I don't think that that's what it is. I think it's just that he knows he'll never find anybody on Belle's level as far as everything that Belle has, like as the complete package for what he wants. You see, that's what I think it is.
No, in my opinion, I actually thought about it too, and I even discussed it with her. Look, I'm not gonna lie. She's very pretty. She is weird because she's in the chat. I never say stuff like this. No, she is.
It's like, I don't have a problem selling her and saying that this to you, Belle, while you're in the chat. That's just the reality of the situation.
No, it's true. No, it's true. She's very.
It's like, yeah, we're both simping. We're both simping for you right now, Belle. I mean, what can we'll be accused of simping for you because of this stream, but I don't care. It's the truth. It's the reality of the situation.
Look, I'll say this in a lightly way. Belle, obviously, I love you, but not in this way at all. Look, you are hot. I'm not gonna lie, you are hot. But I think when it comes to that situation with him, yes, it was probably an unexpected moment. Like, obviously, they share the same opinions, they like the same stuff. But add that on top of there's an actual attraction from that side. Of her saying, I will actually like you. It's like, for real? Like, oh, this is kind of crazy. So maybe he wasn't in over his head with I don't want to say W's, because obviously he didn't win in the end, but it's like at that moment, yes, he was like, damn, this day just keeps getting better then. That type of mentality when it comes to him. But no, I do agree that it tends to happen. There are obviously, when it comes to relationships, some people don't like the same thing you would like. But if it's someone that is pretty, they definitely care about the stuff and are in the same type of they're passionate in the same way you are. You're like, damn, like, I'm at heaven right now. I'm just
right. Again, like you said, the W's are just stacking up. Like, it doesn't get any better, right? Like the dude, like let's be honest, the dude has a pretty hefty YouTube channel. He's got quite a few subscribers. He's very, and he's got a following. And again, he's, if it wasn't for this situation, most people would not have any issues with this guy. And that's the point. It's like, it never should have gotten to this level at all. Number one, the whole thing should have stayed behind the scenes. And but the thing is, when somebody can't get over someone else, it's just a sad story. Because again, man, I mean, but when you are in a situation like you and I just pointed out, where everything is just aligned
Yeah.
the way that you can't ever get it to be with anyone else, or if you did it, you never know. I mean, it'd be difficult, but I mean, I just say lightning. You can't catch lightning in a bottle twice. So let's just put it that way. Love clearly hurts. This feels like a strange intervention. I am out, players. Game on. Have a good evening, everyone. All right, Meatball Saucy. Thank you for coming. This is not really an intervention. This is just a conversation between me and Eddie because we've both experienced uh, this situation, what's been going on. We've both had a lot of interactions with people, and it's so we're kind of venting our frustrations in a way while also trying to put a positive
Hmm.
outlook on things as well. Let's see. Got people saying hello. I want to say hello to Mad Max. He's out there. He's in the chat. How you doing, Max? We got uh, Resident Justice. What's up, RJ? Um, and Sickness says people only mean equality, uh, accountability over entertainment when it comes to movies. I tried speaking out on it too, and nobody even cared. Yeah, well, and that's the thing too. People kind of take this, like I was saying earlier to Eddie. People kind of take this like a TV show.
Hmm.
They treat us like we're fictional characters on a screen, and essentially, when we have like when we have like online disagreements, and we go back and people go back and forth with each other. Honestly, the crowd loves that stuff. Like nobody can deny it. They love that stuff when like you get two big YouTubers trading blows, going back and forth with each other, video after video, live stream after live stream. It's incredible. Resident Justice, RJ, what Bell and Eddie have both gone through is disgusting. It ain't right. Agree with you there. Manny V says, can we all just put on some Mary J. Blige and have no more drama in our lives? Wish it was that easy. Sickness says, I say, F being neutral when someone is being scandalous and doing dirty stuff, cut them cut them loose. I agree with you. There's no need to. That's why I say people that know what's going on and people that care about Bell made their decision that they were not going to associate with this person anymore. And at first, I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to say it was difficult because for me personally, because all I had to hear was what was going on, a little bit of what was going on, and I'm just like, hey, listen, because I could immediately put myself in her situation and think about how I would feel if it was somebody else that I knew going through something like this, or if it was me going through something, or if it was my sister going through
Yeah.
something, or somebody. Listen, you don't want, that's not something, what's right is right. And if it's wrong, you call it out.
No, I agree. To be fair, I'm not trying to sound like a jackass. It did take more than that for some people to
No,
switch
it did.
over. And
That's for sure.
I'll say this: at least when it came to the end, they came through with a moral compass and saying, "No, no, I'm done with this. Maybe I didn't listen to before, but it's over. I see the error of my ways. I'm gonna do the right thing and get off. Whatever. Get distance myself from this book, from this BS, from this person that they're constantly doing. Because I mean, everyone was mutual. Everyone was friends at least with each other. So the fact that it was hard for some people with those accusations being brought out to the light, that people were so struggling to decide if. But maybe that's the thing I keep talking about: entertainment over accountability. Because people didn't and were really wrapped into that mindset and that into it, the entertainment that was being brought up to this from this person. So it's like, I'm sorry. No matter how much I like you, no matter how much I like your videos or streams. If I hear that stuff come out one day, I'm like, okay, no, I had to disappear from this before people accuse me of something too. But I guess for some people, it just, and to this day, there are some people who are still there, which is sad. But at least enough people were smart enough to leave, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what a lot of people have decided to do too.
Hmm.
Like, there's people that haven't said word one about it
Hmm.
publicly or otherwise, but they've distanced themselves
Hmm.
from that person. They don't follow that person anymore. If you notice, he doesn't. A lot of the people that were there in the beginning when this whole thing started are not really following him anymore. They're not really there as much. There's not as many of those people. There's still a few of them, but most of them,
Yeah.
most of a lot of the noteworthy names
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
there in the
Yeah.
beginning
Of course.
who had
Hmm.
actually sided with him are gone.
Yes.
They've seen enough evidence. And a lot of it is too, and I hate to say it, but this is the truth. A
Yeah.
lot of them are just tired. We're probably just tired of the drama more than anything else. A
Mm.
lot of people probably were like, it's not that I side one way or the other, but I'm just tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of the drama, and I'm gonna move on. So a lot of people will remove themselves from the situation in that in that respect too, just because they don't they don't want to hear about it anymore. And Geek Studios says, I met someone online and we just started to be in a relationship and are going to meet soon in real life. Well, geeks, I hope that works out for you, because that sounds awesome. That's like I said, online relationships are great as long as they lead to you meeting in real life and actually giving it a shot. That's what I'm totally an advocate for. Meet somebody online, but make it translate to real life and give it a shot. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, you can always try again. Sickness says, nah, I'll say it straight up. Since he took a shot at Eddie's looks, F him. He's struggling in real life to meet someone. You know what, Sickness, I think you're right. I think maybe he is struggling in real life to meet somebody, but I also think that there was more substance in his relationship, in the relationship with Belle, because Belle has so much of the same similar likes and stuff. When you're into the same stuff, you'll be surprised how deep a relationship can go. If you basically, here's the thing, not only is it, physical, but when you can vibe
Hmm.
with a person, not just physically, but in terms of things that you like and things that you're into, it just makes it even more like perfect. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, yeah, maybe he is struggling to meet somebody, but maybe he could also be too. He's being picky about what he wants. He doesn't just want somebody that he's physically attracted to. He wants somebody that he's attracted to, but they also has a lot of the same likes and dislikes. And I got to be honest with you, there's a lot of great women out there that don't care about BVS, that don't
Hmm.
care about Zack Snyder's Justice League, don't care about any of that stuff, don't care about DC, couldn't tell you the difference between Spider-Man and Superman. Okay, so hey, it is what it is. I mean, it's amazing. Belle Reeves says, you're so nice. Hey, Belle, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. And that's what I love about having Eddie here. Eddie's being honest too. It's great. This is like fantastic stream. I feel like we're just like sweating truth right now, Eddie. It's just like dripping off of us at this moment. Like, people can totally see, hey, listen, you want an honest, raw stream. This is what you're getting. You're getting total honesty right now. So so Eddie, what are some of the things, man? And I kind of want to, move on a little bit now and kind of start talking about other uh, topics here. We got your back too, Bell, 100%. And so aside from movies, man, aside from this movie stuff, what other kinds of stuff are like you into? What kind of things do you what kind of things really get to you, man? Is there anything that you're like really, really passionate about right now that you could talk about that you don't really talk about too much?
Besides that, besides movies and superhero stuff, I guess maybe because I do draw. I am
Awesome.
art major in college finishing up college in general too. I am an art major, planning on
Nice.
probably do something probably in the industry when I keep. I mean, I'm referring my education more before I'm ready, but no, I am planning stuff like that. Besides that, I mean, I play basketball, I play sports when I time from time to time, to just for fun or to keep in shape. But yeah, that's pretty much stuff I don't really talk about, because I mean, most of the time since we are still struggling in the I guess pandemic era. I hardly do any of that stuff before, but no, I definitely was passionate about all that stuff. Besides that, the only thing I could give you is play video games and act lazy sometimes.
Well, what kind of video games do you like to play the most?
um, my genre of video games are like stuff like let's see, um, well, right now I'm just in between games, but no, it's mostly just action adventure shooters and stuff like that. Um,
Okay, cool.
yeah, no, because I'm pretty sure you remember those days when it came to the PlayStation podcast. I was like, I don't want anything
Yeah,
to
you were on that.
yeah,
You didn't really have a lot to
yeah.
say. I remember somebody asked you something, and you mentioned basketball, and I was just like, "Wow, that's awesome." You didn't even want to mention which basketball game you were playing.
Yeah. No, it's because I'm not. Look, I was alive and I was growing up during that time where obviously games weren't in 3D yet. They were still kind of getting to that point. So I do remember those 2D like games, retro games in general. I guess I would just say retro. It's just that stuff was never for me. It just even though I was alive during that time growing up, I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. So I guess even I knew back then that stuff was gonna advance, but like it's fun to see, but I don't think I'll see myself actually wasting money on stuff like that. And yeah, it does kind of sound. I'm in no way am I trashing retro games. It's just that it's not for me. That's why in the PlayStation podcast, every time that stuff was brought up, I was like, come on, really? Don't even get me started on that Miko talk because I definitely didn't want to be involved in that.
Well, hey, I don't even think people that were supporting the Amico want to be talking about that anymore. So I can't disagree with you there, Eddie. But that's the thing. I never really considered the Amico as retro games. I considered the Amico as being a modern console with restorations of classic games to make them look more modern, like mobile games. But I never really looked at it as a retro gaming console because it was so new and whatever. But I guess as of right now, it's going to be a while till we know anything, if we ever do. But yeah, man, I can't fault you. I mean, at least you're honest about
Mhm.
how you feel about stuff again, and that's all I try to be. I just try to be honest. If I don't know, I don't know, and if I don't have an answer, I can't give you one. So we try to be as truthful as possible. Manny V says, "Man, if you find someone and they're into comics and Zach's work, that's the jackpot right there." Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What can you do? That's like, I mean, especially if you're Bell. I mean, come on. That's wow. I don't even know. I don't even know what to tell you there. That's just to be fair, we both love metal and wrestling. Well, that's good. That's good for you and your wife. I'm glad that you guys have a common element. And that's the thing. You should always have at least one thing. I always said this. You should always have one thing in common with your significant other outside of your physical attraction to one another. You should always have at least one major thing that you're both into, that you both share. There should be a passion that you both share, because you can disagree on everything else, but you got to have one thing that like, even if it's something like goofy, like you both really love the holidays, you're both really passionate about the holidays. Well, that's something that you can vibe on. That's something that you can always be in sync with each other over. And that's kind of the whole point. Like, so to me, yeah, this is why I'm talking about Belle like this, because Belle has all those things. She's, and if you find and then there's a guy that's into Belle like that, and they're vibing like that, they're attracted to one another, and they all love all that same stuff. Yeah, it's like Eddie said, it's a match made in heaven until it isn't. So there you go. Because again, you can be vibing on all of that, but then you can have some other stuff that it just doesn't work out, where it just doesn't work out well. The passion has to be, I like to say, the passion has to be portable, meaning it has to be able to travel with you wherever you go, and it has to be strong enough, to maintain your relationship when your relationship is going south for other reasons. And Belle says she effing loves BVS. I agree, Belle. I love BVS so much. Oh my God. And I'll tell you the difference between Spider-Man and Soups too. Oh, I know you can, Belle. I know you can. Wow. The real question is like, I mean, that would be so much fun on like anniversaries and stuff, when you have to decide what to like get her. So it's like if you're dating Belle, you have to decide what to buy her for like an anniversary gift or something. And you go and you see these like Spider-Woman pajamas, and you're like, Belle wouldn't like these Spider-Woman pajamas, because these are Marvel pajamas. So we got to find her something DC related. Like that kind of stuff would be fun. Like where you're just like, oh, well, what can I do? But let's see. Belle never tells me what up anymore. Ooh, well, that's something that you and Belle are gonna have to talk about, sickness. Um, uh, let's see. We got to see if there's anything else. And we got my good friend Sharon Peters in the chat tonight. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, Sharon. What's up? Good to see you. Sharon's always bringing the levity, and I love it. Sharon is awesome. I don't know if you ever met Sharon Peters, Eddie, but Sharon is pretty cool. Let's see. Sharon says, my current boyfriend and I have a thing in common. We both love anal. Okay, well, that's good. That works for you. That's good. That's a passion. Oh God. You were offline for like 3 days over the bowling alley. I don't know, this bowling thing. I'm not really aware of what's going on. Nova Joe says just those ones that wish Snyder was more Marvel. Those fans are sus. Yeah, I don't know about Snyder being more Marvel, but I do believe that one of these days in our lifetime, Snyder will direct a Marvel movie. What do you think, Eddie? You think that'll happen? I think he will in his career at some point.
It's hard to say. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we know that Snyder tried before with a Star Wars pitch, and obviously Marvel and Star Wars are owned by Disney. Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, oh my gosh. Like I said, I guess it is what it is. No, I feel like, I mean, we had heard rumors about it. I don't know, because obviously I think the whole thing surrounding Snyder is like, or his fandom at least, is give him stuff where he could get creative freedom. I feel like with Marvel, there's restrictions. I don't think they'll definitely won't let him do exactly what he wants. Even with a property where he can have that type of more adult themed or more edgier
freedom,
whatever.
Yeah. Like I just feel like at some point Marvel will get to that point where they'll want him to do something like that. Like the fact that they're doing a Moon Knight TV show now.
Yeah.
Moon Knight is going to be probably the darkest property we've ever seen in modern Marvel. So, are you excited for Moon Knight?
Well, yes, I don't know anything about Moon Knight. That's why I called him like a rip-off Batman, because it seemed like that in the trailer, to be honest. But look, I'm excited to see what the character has to bring. I know it has something to do with personality disorders, probably some magical Egyptian god stuff. I really don't know, but no, I can't wait to see. I like Oscar Isaac, and he was a waste in the sequel trilogy, so I'm happy for him to have another shot at something from Disney. And like I said, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, then it's bad.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's going to be bad. That's for
No, it
sure. It looks
doesn't.
like it's going to be incredible.
Hmm.
Jesse Allen says Zod does not care about the bowling alley thing. I don't know anything about the bowling alley thing. Does somebody want to enlighten me about what this bowling alley thing is that y'all are talking about? Because I have no idea. Daniel Martin says, I saw some BVS panties on sniffers.com, but I left it alone. Oh,
Oh
wow.
my
I
gosh.
remember I remember that stream.
Me
I
too.
remember that stream when Bell was talking about sniffers.com
Hmm.
and Rhea was on there too. That was something else. Uh, Marvel horror, totally Zack Snyder. Yeah, like a horror. Yeah, being interesting. Uh, Eddie, are you ready for that Miss Marvel series?
No, I am. I do like Miss Marvel as a character, and I already expected the bullshittery from some people when it comes to talking about her in a negative way. But I do like the character. I think the trailer was cute and all energetic. And like I said, at the end of the maybe the demographic is more for preteens or teens, but it's like it's still MCU. It's still obviously brought up for a general audience. It's you as a consumer to decide if you want to see it or not. So that's what I'm gonna do. I already like the character. I already know what the character was about. I am mad about certain things like that, them changing her powers and making it more like Captain Marvel, which was stupid because I like stretchy powers, but it is what it is. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I had to keep using that logic.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I mean, it's you really won't know until you see it. But
Hmm.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out and see what it's all about. That's how I am. I like to give everything a chance, before I dismiss it. That's why I don't ever like to be in a situation where I didn't get to see it and then I'm over here trying to talk about it because if you don't see it, how can you know how you feel about it? Jesse Allen says, "Damn, Bell would have loved them, or maybe they are from Bell selling them." Oh, you're talking about the BVS panties from Snippet. I don't know. You're gonna have to ask. You're gonna have to ask Bell. And Sharon Peters asks, "Is it a situation about nude bowling?" No, Sharon, I don't think it's about nude bowling. I think it's something else. Jesse Allen says Sickness's local bowling alley had a drive-by shooting. Oh wow. Uh, I don't know why it was so funny. Maybe it was just funny the way Sickness was telling it. Maybe I don't know. Uh, and Sharon Peters says I heard that Miss Marvel had a big push. Wow. And Sickness says Sickness's hood is straight out of a David Ayer movie. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Is that's I guess I don't know. One of these days, maybe we'll have to get Sickness on a stream and call it the bowling alley stream. I don't know. Maybe we can. This is what happens when you bring Eddie on a stream. Well, no, you know what? I've been enjoying my conversation with Eddie. See, and I knew I would because Eddie and I have never had a problem.
Hmm.
And that's something that people need to understand. Like there's been situations where Eddie's had issues with people in the past with mutuals, but I don't, I kind of just stay in my lane, because I see where Eddie's coming from and I see Eddie always tries to do the right thing, which is something I appreciate because it's what I try to do.
Let me just say this: when it comes to certain mutuals, I already know what you were talking about once you said it. Look, I never go for to be disrespectful. Even when I do disagree on things, I say precisely how I feel or what I think. I never go to a route where I mock people. But let's just say, me and my crew are probably done solving mysteries. If you know what I'm trying to say.
Right, right. Manny says, seems to me they've made Miss Marvel's powers set more like Green Lantern esque.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I don't know.
I mean, it's similar because it's like energy projection weapons, stuff like that. It's like I don't know. It's like Captain Marvel's powers was like energy stuff, but like at the same time, they're trying to at least trying to mix in her original powers, even though it's not like that anymore. So I really don't know. Maybe you could compare it to a Green Lantern thing, but like I said, I definitely do not support that change at all, and it's a shame. The costume looks comic accurate, but the powers are not at all. And I get it; they're trying to do their own interpretation of the character, but come on, man. Like that's gonna add like another thing of what people don't like about the character to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you start messing with the character's powers and you don't
Yeah.
make the character's powers accurate, uh, you've already lost because the
Hmm.
hate brigade is going to be out in droves on both sides. It's going to be ridiculous. Jesse Allen says hashtag sickness on ZodWriter. Hell yeah, Eddie. And we got sickness says, yeah, all the people involved on both sides had ties to my neighborhood and had the whole block packed and hectic for days. Wow. All over a bowling alley. And Sharon Peters says, Eddie is hot. Can you link Eddie's OnlyFans and Grinder? I don't know if Eddie has an OnlyFans. That's something you have to talk to Eddie about.
I will say this. Look. It's not what you think. I did make one for fun, just to be funny.
Oh my god!
I swear I'm not doing anything with it. If you guys want, I'll link it in the chat. But there's nothing there. I'm not planning on doing anything. It was just a funny joke. That's it.
That's awesome. You see what I'm talking about? That's exactly what I mean. This is great. This is great stuff. Oh my god. Mr. Evan retired. Sickness says I'm down to jump on one day. Yeah, definitely, Sickness, man. Let me know. We'll work it out and we'll have a late night Q&A. We'll bring you on and it'll be a hell of a stream. I can't wait. We definitely got to do it soon. Let's see. Honestly, Eddie looks like a young Boba Booey. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hey, so you got yourself a new fan here, Eddie. If you link your OnlyFans, I'm sure Sharon Peters will drop you a couple bucks. Who knows? Sharon Peters might want to start an online relationship with you, Eddie.
Well, let's just say that if it did happen, at least I know how to be mature about it instead of being a obsessive creep. That's all I'm going to say about that situation, though.
Yeah, exactly. There's a big difference between being mature and being an obsessive creep. I agree with you 100%. I mean, so I guess, man, to kind of wrap things up, I guess the last thing I really want to ask you is, what movie are you most looking forward to coming out this year? Now that the Batman has come out, what are you most looking forward to?
I don't know, because it was pretty much the only thing I was thinking of was the Batman, because Batman is my favorite character, so I didn't really plan it out exactly like what I was excited for next. And obviously, us as DC fans got betrayed after they pushed the slate back. But it's hard because I was excited for Black Adam.
Yeah, for me right now, it's Black Adam. Yeah.
Yeah, Black Adam. But then I was thinking of stuff like Aquaman as well, even to even Shazam Fury of the Gods to an extent. I know with Marvel, yeah, Doctor Strange is probably the most likely one so far. That I think is gonna be a treat to see. But I think probably I was riding on Black Adam since it was the closest one, and I want to see The Rock really act in a movie, not just play himself or anything else, to prove himself as a character. Since he got casted since 2007, and look how long it took just to make that movie.
Yeah. Well, Sharon, I think you'll be disappointed here. She says, ask him what his favorite arcade one-up cabinet is. I don't know if Eddie has a favorite arcade one-up cabinet. Do you have a favorite arcade one-up cabinet, Eddie?
I don't even know what that means.
like one of those home arcade machines.
Oh no, no offense, but I think I'm not that right generation for something like that.
Okay, well that's what I figured you were going to say. I didn't think you would really know because you're not in the home arcade scene, so I didn't think you would. But Sharon Peters wanted to know, so we had to ask. Black Adam looks really good. Sharon Peters says, Black Adam, I'm more of a Chinese Steve kind of girl. She likes Chinese Steve. Okay. And Sharon ready to split a Little Caesars Batman calzone with Eddie. I think that would be awesome. If I would love to see Sharon Peters and Eddie go on a date and Eddie make a live stream out of it. That'd be awesome. And Eddie, has put up his OnlyFans for you, Sharon Peters, so you can go to Eddie's OnlyFans. And I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this as the highlight comment of the night. Eddie's OnlyFans. This is awesome. Listen, this is something you learn something new every day, dude. Like this is so cool. So we're gonna go ahead and pin that comment. And I did not know that, but I give you respect, Eddie, for actually admitting it and explaining, the rationale behind it, of course. And let's see, maybe we will get Cavill in Black Adam. Let's see, I'm just trying to get wrap things up here. Zod and Eddie should do a joint OnlyFans account. Oh my God. Sharon Peters. Let's see. And there we got it. We got Eddie. Yeah, Eddie's channel. Yeah. For those who have not subscribed to Eddie, I have the link to his YouTube channel in the description, and I also have a link to his Twitter. So you might want to follow him on Twitter and also subscribe to his YouTube channel if you haven't. I'd like to see Eddie get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers as soon as possible, because I like to see good people like Eddie get monetized as well. Eddie's a good dude. He does a lot of good content. He's a funny guy. Eddie, I got to thank you so much, man, for being here tonight. It was so much fun hanging out with you. And let's see, we got Daniel Martin talking about the pin that. And we got Sharon Peters, who apparently has checked out your OnlyFans, and she says she's wetter than Hurricane Katrina right now, Eddie. So, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Hey, what can you say? Sickness says Eddie has me blocked. Nova Joe says, where's Sharon Cox though? And Daniel Martin ends with yes, sir. So on that note, again, thank you again, Eddie, for being here. And again, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Definitely like and subscribe, share, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe to Eddie if you haven't already. And next week on Late Night Q&A with ZodWriter, I will have Ryan Zieverfett on with me for the Q&A. So that should be fun. So definitely be here for that. And then be here tomorrow for, well, my God, I literally almost forgot the name of the show. Weekly Comic Book Movies with myself and Ashley the Widow. We'll be doing that show tomorrow as well. And Eddie, before you go, can you tell everybody what you've got coming up next?
Besides today, that was a setback. I had to do what I had to do, just wrap it all up, which is a shame because I didn't expect that I had to have to do something like that again. But no, tomorrow I'll probably go back to making content about either breaking news stuff and entertainment, or just making videos about my own opinions when it comes to superheroes, Marvel, DC, whatever. But no, let's go back to being lighthearted, and I have more fun with that than having to address something I didn't want to address anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to being cheerful, energetic, and just having fun, going to different streams with my friends. That's pretty much it. What you'll get from my channel. Yes, probably some controversies, probably some people getting mad at my opinions, but it's superheroes. What can you do? I don't take it that seriously at all.
Well, El Necron wants his L back, so you can give him his L back too. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the controversial and often misunderstood, awesome Eddie Diaz. Thank you again. Good night, everybody. Peace.